Welcome to Point Blank. I'm Yvonne.
And I'm Nicola.
And tonight we're on to the topic of comeback kids. Well, we wonder how hard is it to turn over a new leaf in Singapore? Well, especially when you've had a checkered past or did some pretty crazy things when you were young. So tonight on Point Blank we explore the turnaround of some troubled youths. And in our living room tonight we have quite a few people. We have
Dr. Geraldine Tan, and we have Daphne Tan, who used to be a girl gang member. Yeah, she got into trouble with the police and all the work. So we also have Yo Po Lian, who's Daphne's teacher when she was in ITE, and of course Dr. Geraldine Tan, a psychologist from the Centre of Effective Learning. So welcome to the show, ladies.
So all of you ladies are somehow connected in a certain way. You're a psychologist who has the opportunity to work with troubled youths, like who Daphne was in the past. And you're also a teacher who also has lots of opportunities to work with troubled youths. Some of them, yes. So, before we go further with our chat, let's take a look, because we wonder whether when you want to turn over a new leaf or step up and change your life, the question is, will society let you? Is it open arms or doors slammed in your face?
Well, the litmus test is really whether somebody's got a criminal record and whether they can get a job here. Hey, we're talking about bread and butter, Yeah. So I took it upon myself and I made a few calls pretending to be pretending to be an ex-convict.
That's right.
Yeah, I was looking for a job. And here's what we found out.
Okay, hi. Today we're here to find out how easy it is for ex-offenders to get a job. And I've got the Straits Times classified, and I'll be calling up different employers and I'll be posing as an ex-con, so we'll see how willing they are to hire me.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling about an advertisement in the paper today. And you were looking for a full-time waitress for data entry.
Have you have any experience working in a pet shop? Okay, we should come down for interview tomorrow.
Okay, but I feel like I should mention this first, so, in case there's a problem, I actually have a record.
You have a what?
But I have to mention something first. It might be a problem. I actually have a record.
What record?
I was caught for shoplifting and for fighting. Yeah.
Oh,
but
you have a record, huh?
Sorry?
I've got a record. I was caught for shoplifting and for fighting.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago in secondary school.
Okay, it's good that you're honest.
I actually have a record. Yeah, I have a record. I was caught for shoplifting and for fighting.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, you got a record, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, how long was that?
It was back in secondary school.
19?
About like 1999.
How old at the time?
Yeah, I was about like 16 or so.
Oh,
but I've changed. I want to get back and pick up my life again.
Okay. At least I know that you're frank with us. So it's okay with us. But is your okay? So all right. Just hold on a while.
Okay.
She got a record of shoplifting but then she changed who she wanted.
Hello. I feel like I should be honest about it, just in case it could be a problem.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
I was in secondary school when I was 16.
Temptation, huh?
Yeah, not a very good thing.
Yeah, no worries, Yeah. What record?
I was caught for shoplifting and for fighting in secondary school.
How old are you now?
I'm 24.
That time this thing happened, how old are you?
It was 16.
That one no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Who never get this kind of problem? That's why I asked for your age.
Okay.
That one is the past. So long as now you are okay, you don't do all
I'm
this.
fine now.
You should be okay.
Okay, I will come back with you. Okay, thank you. Bye.
That's pretty good, wasn't it?
It was actually quite fun. I had a lot of fun doing it.
None of them thought you were a fraud, yeah?
I think the guy actually caught on. When he asked for my age and he asked when I was in secondary school, I think he started to catch on.
How many phone calls did you actually make?
I made about 15 calls.
Out of that?
Out of that, there were 2 I got rejected, but not because of my criminal offence. So I guess there was about at least 12 people who were willing to hire me.
And those 2 who rejected you, what was it because of?
Oh, because number 1, I wasn't a Japanese waitress.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, me too. And number 2, I wasn't a man.
Oh, you can't help that. You can't help that.
I tried to change, but
Yeah,
it didn't
that.
work. No.
Yeah, how you guys feel about what you just saw? Some of them I found some of them on the phone were actually pretty nice to Nick here.
I found it actually quite heartwarming. People like me and they still want me back, even if I was a bad.
Yeah. So what do you think, Mrs. Yo?
Just curious, what position were you applying for?
There were actually a lot. There were some I think some counter assistants, dental assistant, pet shop owner, pet shop store assistant, hairdressing assistant. There were a few dispatch. The guy who actually grilled me on why I did and all that, he was from a childcare. Yeah, so it was quite varied, across the board.
Seems telling because if it is the childcare guy
grilling
you, then there's some bearing on the position that you're applying
definitely.
for.
Yeah, that's true. So those that grilled you were those which would require, a certain sort of character reference of some sort.
I found the people who asked me the most questions were childcare or something to do with shops. I mean, I called a few dispatch as well, and they didn't care. They was like, "Oh yeah, bring your bike, come down."
Okay, this is where we turn to you, Daphne. We know that you have a story to tell. That you're I mean, it's easy to, I mean, we're on camera. It's easy to say, "Oh, okay, this is Daphne, who's an ex-Girl Gang member. Now she's a youth ambassador, youth counsellor." I mean, it's between that and that took a really long time and a lot of hard work, and I'm sure a lot of tears as well. So would you like to share with your story? Why and how were your years in the Girl Gang? Why did you join a Girl Gang?
Okay, because my mom passed away when I was young, when I was 3 years old, and she died of breast cancer. So because my dad couldn't, take care of my sis and I, so I was asked to stay with my granny since I was young. But because of a lack of love from home, and because I don't have a mom, I always feel very lonely. I cannot talk to people. I cannot communicate with my families. I always try to quarrel with them. And even I go to school, I feel so sad about my life, until I realized that I have a lot of friends around me, and we share the common thinking. We come from the same background. Most of my friends came from a single parent. So that makes me join the Girl Gang, because I'm actually happier with my friends than at home. Yeah.
So you sort of found a community.
Yes.
So, do you want to tell us some of the stuff you did with the Girl Gang? I remember you did tell me that there were fights, yeah?
Yeah.
And there were some illegal stuff that you did.
Okay, I actually went to Fire Night This at the age of 11. I was smuggled in.
You're not even a teenager.
Yeah, and some girls were just dancing. Then I don't know whether it's purposely or accidentally, just bang on me. So one of my gang members, she felt that she was not very happy. So she just took a bottle and smashed on her head and stuff like that. Wow. So that was very horrifying experience. I mean, I was quite timid in the past, and seeing that was really a shock for me, and I was stunned over there. Then they would just pull me and run.
So you were 11.
Yes.
You're barely a teenager. How old was the girl who smashed the bottle?
She was 5 years older than me.
Okay. That's about
16.
much. That's quite much older when you compare 11 and 16.
Yes, she was very daring. So and we even went to haunted house. We love to do challenging stuff. Things that people dare not try, we would like to go there and see. People say, it is a haunted house at Orchard. There's a red house or stuff like that. We just want to go in and see, even though we are very scared. Yeah. So shoplifting, gang fight, all this stuff.
It sounds like I could join your gang,
Sounds like a lot of fun excursions. Of course. Besides the bottle busting.
That would be some fun.
Yeah, was that the bottle thing, the fight, was that the worst thing that happened during your Girl Gang times?
Yeah.
Or is there
Did you do anything like that?
Usually I won't fight because I'm quite timid. I don't even dare to kill people.
So you just watch people fight around
you stand back
I was just because I'm the youngest in the gang. So basically, what the so-called the head of the gang, she will always assign me jobs like, you go and look out, see is there any police, you know, you see like, for example, if it's short-lived, right, you say, go and see, like, distract the counter staff, you know, like, don't let them see you, like, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, for example, even like they sniff glue in a park, so you say, hey, you just go and sit with that guy, pretend you are a couple. So I just sit out there and then
so have you spent any time behind bars before? Have you been locked up before?
No, but locked up I did because of a Ford MC case. Yeah, because there's this day when I didn't go to school. So one of my friends, he passed me an MC. You know, I mean, being very young and childish, I thought that I can just have fun and then submit the MC and enjoy or get away from it. But after I submitted the MC, my principal found out that, you know, the doctor has actually died like 5 years ago. And he actually reported me to the police. And that was when I went for a statement recording and they felt that I was very young, so they put me into a lockup room for 8 hours.
They locked you up for a fake MC?
Not really, but because I was young, so they didn't want me to go home myself and afraid that I would like mix around with the wrong people. So they wait for my father to bail me out.
So did that give you a criminal record?
Not really, because the guy actually went to surrender. That, you know, because
that guy got a criminal record.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
The friend who passed you the MC.
Yeah, because I think they stole the MC from the hospital.
Oh, that must have been a graver offense. So, Geraldine, in your line of work as a psychologist, I'm sure you meet people like Daphne, troubled youth, and all that. Is hers a classic sort of story? And you know, what are some of the flags that, you know, red flags that came up when you heard her story?
I think we always have this mindset that broken family, you know, something. I guess a lot of major life changes. First, going into the teenage years is a very, very big step. You get a lot of liberty. It's like a bottleneck that you suddenly come out of. And a lot of teenagers feel very excited about this period of time. You start to see the world in a different perspective. You start to view yourself and the other person very differently, and I think it's made worse if you don't have the right guidance, and you start to explore. There's a lot of exploratory behavior during the teenage years, and if you explore and you find that, oh, okay, I can align myself with a certain person, or I can align myself with something that is exciting or not so pleasant, and you go down that path, it's very easy to fall into that because you are so filled with your hormones, you're so charged. You just plunge into things without thinking at all. And at that point, you don't see the consequences. The consequences seem too vague and too abstract. So it's...
And very often improbable, like, oh, that will never happen to me. The consequences will happen to someone else.
You just think, oh, you know, my friend got busted. It's just my friend.
She's just unlucky.
Correct.
I'll be lucky.
I'll be fine. No.
A lot of times by the time they get caught, they say, but I've done it so many times. So the first question I'll ask them usually would be, so how many times have you gone into this shop? They never get caught, and it's very thrilling to go inside a shop and say, I'll take something and see if I get caught this time. And after a while, it becomes very, very normal. They tend to love to use the word, oh, very normal lah. How do you feel? Very normal.
Normal, like nothing out there.
Nothing anymore. So from something very exciting, it becomes like a normal way of life.
So how many times?
I think more than 5 times.
More than 5 times.
And you know, basically at the very last time that we shoplift, right, my friend basically just walked in and take out the stuff. And actually, I felt that the counter staff saw my friend shoplifting. He was like quiet because I guess he was quite worried that we would just bash him out.
Your girlfriends look so fierce.
Yeah, they're all very fierce. We have like 17 of us in the room.
So all 17 of you went into a store?
Not all, half of us.
What did you take?
Half of a group.
What did you take from the store?
Some stole beer, food.
How do you steal beer?
How old were you again?
That time I guess I was like 14, 15.
Okay. You
Yeah,
stole beer
I think-
and what other stuff?
We took one carton of beer.
How do you take a carton of
That's
beer?
like-
Oh, let's go. I'll put it in my jacket.
That's not even shoplifting. That's daylight robbery.
It's midnight.
just lifting and nothing else and just lifting it up.
That's
That literally
Wow,
shocked
the uncle must have been very frightened of you guys.
it's a young chap, I think.
Oh, young chap.
So-
One scrawny guy afraid of like
Hey,
10
my
girls.
beer, come back.
No, but some of us will distract him. Like some girls will go and talk to him, like, oh, where do you put this thing? You know, like became friends. Yeah. So
So you're like one of them. They go there. Oh hi, you look very handsome
no,
today.
I'm always the lookout, man. I'm always standing outside to see whether
patrol.
there's any police coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It seems like we see from the video just now about employers and having ex-offenders. Of course, you're not an ex-offender, but there are many people who go down your path and never turn back, or they do turn back, but it's a bit
It's a bit late for them.
they have gotten much deeper in trouble than you have because you didn't get a record, but some of them did. So we wonder, how do people generally, view ex-offenders? Are they actually given a second chances in life?
Well, I went to find out. See, the Yellow Ribbon Project, which helps ex-offenders reintegrate into society, they did a public perception survey last year.
Well, out of 1,000 people surveyed, they found that 80% of the respondents said they were willing to patronize shops run by ex-offenders.
Yeah, and 70% were willing to actually make friends with their colleagues who had been ex-offenders.
So I guess it's true that it's a litmus test. Ex-offenders, they have gone like further than the bar. So a litmus test would be how they reintegrate back into society. But well, for you, Daphne, you were a troubled youth and you did some illegal things, but you weren't. You don't have a record.
Yeah, at least you're clean.
That's right. But you had people in your life who helped you along. So can you share with us, what was that turning point in your life? What made you realize, hey, I don't want to live this sort of life anymore? What made you turn around?
The person who actually motivates me is my dad. Because ever since my mom passed away, he has not been enjoying his life. He has been working very hard just to support my sister and I. And for the very first time in my life, I saw my dad tear in front of me. So
you cried in front
yeah.
So that was when you decided, I'm going to change.
Yeah, and I realized that, what have I done to hurt my dad so much that he has to cry? Because he's a very bold person. And he's very tough. He don't usually cry. I never see him cry. The only time I saw him cry was when my grandfather passed away. So after that, I realized that I really have to change. And I want to give my dad a good life. But of course, along the way, life was not easy. When I first started to, decided to study hard, it was definitely killing me. Yeah, I have to find out every individual meaning, for the words that I mean in the textbook. And teachers play a lot in my life. Play a very great role in my life. Without them, I don't think I have the motivation to carry on. Of course, with my dad, my dad will motivate me, but he can't help me in terms of my study. But teachers are always there to tell me, Daphne, you can make it. You are not stupid. You can go on. You will succeed one day and stuff like that.
Like people like Mrs. Yo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, people like Mrs. Yo. We'll get to Mrs. Yo in a while. First, we'll take a web comment. Our viewers are actually commenting on your story. Cervantes says, I think employers are more forgiving for smaller offences. If you commit a serious crime, it's going to be tough to get any job. That's why we have the Yellow Ribbon Project. Yeah, what do you think about that? That,
I think
the
depends
tougher
on
your
the
offence,
age.
the more.
It depends on your age group.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're like a teenager and below 18 and you did something really silly and you've come out of it already, you've decided that you're no longer going to walk down that path again and put everything behind, I think then it's easier for employers to look at it and say, okay, since then you've got a good track record and we don't mind hiring you and having you on a probation. Yeah, and I guess with all experiments, you have alcohol, drugs, and things like that. And unless you really murder somebody, then the employers will probably think twice of putting you in a probably just now we were discussing a security position or something like that.
I mean, even with my small offences, like, you know, shoplifting and fighting, they didn't even want me in a security position. Yeah, something I was thinking about when I was making the calls, I thought, like, you know, they said okay and they were so accepting of me because I was young when I did it. But I was wondering, what if I said I was like, oh, I'm 37, you know,
And I committed the offence at like 28.
yeah, and I went in for like some heavy robbery or something, and I just came out of prison. If I said that, I wonder if, you know, I would have the same response. Yeah, I should have tried that.
I killed someone before, and then, you know...
But I had really good behavior in prison, though, so they let me out. I can change, see?
Yeah, that's the thing. You didn't mention there's the age group. The one of the criteria they're looking for is age group. Oh, you must have been, you know, sort of maybe you were not very mature.
Maybe
enough,
you were young and stupid, so you did that.
You did
know?
silly things when you were young, that sort of thing. But maybe not so forgiving for older people. You think?
I would think so, because when you are younger, people tend to give you the benefit of doubts that, okay, you just did something rash and you have not thought through, but you don't expect an adult to be rash, to be so unthinking. Therefore, when the adult commits something silly, we tend to be more critical of the adult, more unforgiving. I mean, we read of men who, after coming out from the jail, and they are in their late 40s, and it's very difficult for them to find a job because it's difficult to trust a mature adult. On top of that, a guy.
So for you, Mrs. Yeo, you reckon if it's the person is a girl, committed the offence when she was much younger, they put it down to, you know, lack of maturity, and a girl is not as threatening as a guy?
I think as long as the person is a child, people will tend to be more forgiving. I had that feeling working with teachers. Somehow we feel that, okay, this student is still young, never mind, you know, silly, this person, but never mind, we are going to teach this person.
Do you think it's like, sorry, when you're younger, it's easier to change your ways than when you're older? Is that like a social
Could
stigma?
be that also, and could be because, I mean, being young, you haven't learned yet, so, you know, you sort of, you have the excuse to commit all those mistakes. Not when you're old.
You still have a chance. Some excuse of some sort. Yeah. How about the youths that you work with? You know, you work in an ITE. You teach ITE students. What do you do when you come across a difficult child or a kid who doesn't want to listen, is rebellious, or clearly, you know, kind of like Daphne, who is sort of estranged from people other than from her girl gang group. You know, at that sort of age.
I must say that by the time Daphne comes to me, she is not your typical girl gang. She is like hungry, I want to study, I want to get ahead. So if she doesn't tell me the past, I wouldn't have known.
Wouldn't have guessed, because she was very hardworking during ITE.
When we come across students who are difficult, there is a reason why they are difficult. So the natural reaction is to pounce on them and start disciplining them. Actually shouldn't. It's actually, why have you become like that? You weren't born like that, right? So something must have happened. I think the understanding part is very important to achieve that rapport and a breakthrough.
That's true.
I totally agree with her because my background was I was from Singapore Children's Society, dealing with a lot of guidance program children and the court cases, your beyond parental cases, and a lot of them want us to understand them. A lot of them have a story behind them. Yeah, and and they come from all walks of life, honestly.
Not just the poor, right?
No,
from a well-off family.
yes,
definitely.
yes,
It cuts across all cross sections of society.
Correct. I had one case where this is a girl, 15 years old, I think, from a very renowned school, from an all-girls school. And it was because her brother had cancer and had his leg amputated, if I remember correctly. And nobody told her anything about it. So what happened was she just felt so frustrated, so upset that she was out of the loop in everything. Her parents neglected her for one whole year. So she went into the shop and she stole something. And just screaming out for attention. Yeah, and when we actually found out and brought it to light, the family was able to come together, sit down, talk about it, and she was fine after that. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go for a break right now. Call us, email us, send us your comments. And after the break, we'll find out, you know, how another comeback kid made good. Yep.
So keep it right here on Point Blank.
That's right.